Hey everyone, I hope you're having a nice weekend. Just to go through a few things for next week. I am on spring break with the kids and out of town. I'm gonna come back on Thursday, so I'll stop by Thursday and then I'll be here Friday for just a bit. But I am still available via call, or just call me or text me if you need anything. I should be around. Okay, so things to harvest for next week. Bed 2, there's a good amount of collards, and then there's a little bit in the stand-up bed over by the hose, and then there's also maybe just a bit in this front bed that can be harvested as well. And you just want to take the biggest leaves off and still leave at least half of the plant. This cover is to keep out the squirrel, which we did catch on the camera that's up here on the pavilion. So at least now we know it really was a squirrel, which was kind of my thought after eliminating some other options. So these covers have seemed to help keep the squirrel out of the beds, so we'll just leave them on for now. I also did get, if you can see this, like, pinwheel up here. Apparently those are supposed to scare the squirrels off too. Probably won't work, but you know, sometimes you gotta feel like you have some control of the situation. So we will harvest the collards, we can harvest the cilantro. You can see that some of it, see how it's getting kind of like that feathery look in the middle? I think it's about to go to seed. So like you can see here, there's kind of like that thick stalk coming up in the middle. So let's harvest the cilantro, especially from the plants that have that in the center, and you can just harvest the entire plant. So just harvest it right off from the ground, the soil level, and like a lot of these are starting like right there. It's kind of getting that feathery look at the top. So you can go through here and harvest probably a good amount of this. I would say if it doesn't have this at the top, just leave it for now. That way we're not kind of inundating the emergency food box program with too much cilantro that they can't hand out. The squirrel has gotten this plant since last week, but has left all the other ones pretty much alone. This bok choy / winter choy is looking pretty good. We should probably harvest this before the squirrel does it for us. So I'll add that to my list too. We can harvest more spinach. I think Katie did harvest it last week, so it's looking pretty good, but we can just continue to kind of work on the spinach in this bed and bed 20. We can harvest the mosh. You can see last week I started just harvesting the entire heads. I think this is actually gonna flower soon too. Yep, you can see at the top, little flowers are coming out. So we need to harvest a lot of this week. Spencer, maybe you can harvest some on Monday, and then Katie can harvest some more when she's here. And last week, I just harvested it and put on the bag mild salad greens, please wash. I feel like it's so tender that if we wash it here, it's just gonna be a mess by the time someone gets to eat it. So, and please just remember to use the clear Ziploc bags whenever you bag something up. And those are sitting inside by the scale. We can harvest, there is a little bit of lettuce right up here, and I'm trying to see if it's easier to just harvest the whole thing. It probably is easiest because that's all that we'll harvest, is just harvest this whole thing at soil level. That way we have a good amount to send over. We can harvest the Mizuna, which is here. So we'll harvest just the bottom bigger leaves and leave the center leaves to continue to grow. I would say, like, if you harvest half of this plant at a time, but pretty much all of this Mizuna can be harvested this week. There is this broccoli rabe is looking pretty big. However, I think I want to wait and see if there are like the little stalks that form. So we'll just leave this for now. I'm just gonna look and see if there are any caterpillars on here. There are some little holes, but I don't see caterpillars. Okay. So there's that. Oh, I do have carrots here, and there are some carrots in the front bed out by the sidewalk as well. Last week when I was harvesting here though, there were ants. So I think, yeah, there's an ant pile in here. So I would say if you harvest maybe just from this kind of center section where the greens are the biggest, just kind of give them one good yank, shake them off. So we'll have to basically harvest that whole section, and then I can dig out the ant pile that's around it. And if you don't want to do that, I don't blame you. I can do it when I get back. If you would rather not take the chance of getting an ant bite, I do not blame you at all. This bed needs some work. There's like all of these weeds in this bed too. So yeah, that's an option, not required. And then there's more collards here. The hose is turned back on, just FYI, if you need to water anything out here. I put in my notes that Monday it's supposed to rain, so things should be in a good spot out here. If for some reason it doesn't rain on Monday, I would just check these containers and see if anything needs watered. I feel like we got probably a decent amount of rain last night. Today's Saturday. So hopefully by Monday things will be okay. The only other thing I wanted to point out here is I needed to make room in the greenhouse. So I moved some stuff out here. I'm keeping it covered because of the squirrel. I'm really hoping he can't get in here and things are not destroyed by the time we get back. So if you uncover this to check for water, check if they need watered, which I would check that on Monday, Spencer. Just make sure it gets covered up really well, and hopefully that will keep the squirrel out. Fingers crossed, because I would be very sad if he got in there. Okay, so I think I covered watering, so out here, containers if it doesn't rain on Monday, and then just check the greenhouse. Check anything on the heat mat. Make sure you check up top as well. I'm here again, this is Saturday. I gave everything a good drench. If it doesn't look like it needs watered, Katie will be in Tuesday or Wednesday, so she can just water then as well. And then I have set out here kind of the other to-dos for the week. So you can see here I have the jalapenos. We just want to pot up the ones with true leaves. Some of the other ones are just like, that one's just barely popping out. We can leave that in that cell for now. But as they're ready, we'll put them in the 4-inch pots. So I kind of just tried to set things with the pots they should go in. So this is Kalu, which is a green from the Caribbean, I believe, which can grow in the summer. So I would like to put those in red solo cups. Again, you just have to poke holes in the bottom and label them on the sides. And they are packed in there really closely together, so you just kind of have to be gentle while you're kind of pulling them apart. I have Agasaki, Yarrow, and Amaranth, and those can be potted up into either these 6-inch trays. I have this one, which is small. You can find the ones that have the four cell containers. Whatever you need, they just can go in these like little smaller containers. Sweet basil, I have not potted any of this up, so I would like to have a tray for us here. And then this is wash that I would like to start. So half of this tray for each type. So this one has 2 different types and this one has 2 different types. After these are potted up, you can put on one of the clear tops and stick it on the heat mat. These might be ready to come off. They're like coming up very erratically, so I'm leaving this on the heat mat for now. If there's a ton that have popped up by Monday, Spencer, just take it off the heat mat and set it on a table. I think that is about it for next week. Oh, I do have this extra basil. A lot of it has been, I do have a good amount potted up already. I would like to pot up some more, but it's not top priority. So if you would like to, if anybody listening would like to take some home, you can pot some up for yourself. I might, when I get back, just pot up some extra to take to Battle Academy. So anyway, I'm just leaving it here for now, not top priority. I would rather get some of this other stuff potted up first. There is, let's see. There is a little bit of eggplant left up here too. You can see some of them are getting a bit bigger, but they'll be okay hanging out there for another week. So I would just focus on what's here on the center tray. Okay, I think that's about it. Thanks for listening to this long video. Give me a call if there are any questions, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for all your help. Bye-bye.